Calaroga Shark Media.
From Washington, D.C., we're seriously, release the Epstein files already. This is Ballard.
That's right, and I'm fine with you releasing the Epstein files because I'm not in them. Hi, I'm Patrick Gutfield, and USA Today reported how back in the 1990s, Trump and Epstein were basically the poster boys for New York excess. Two rich guys living blocks apart in Manhattan, both with mansions in Florida just 2 miles from each other, throwing parties that would make Studio 54 look like a church potluck. These weren't your typical rich guy hangouts either. Trump owned the Plaza Hotel and would host parties there that, according to author Michael Gross, had a very specific guest list criteria. As Gross jokingly put it, if they were checking IDs, it was to make sure the girls were young enough. Which is the kind of joke that stops being funny when you realize it might not be a joke. Trump even started his own modeling agency in 1999. Trump Models. Because apparently, when you're already running casinos and hotels, the natural next step is, you know what this empire needs? Teen models. The agency represented Melania, who would become his third wife, and various teenage models. Meanwhile, Epstein was investing in modeling agencies too, including one run by a guy who had been banned from his previous agency in Europe for abuse allegations. There's apparently actual video from 1992 of Trump and Epstein at Mar-a-Lago, hanging out with Buffalo Bills and Miami Dolphins cheerleaders, dancing to Rhythm is a Dancer. And honestly, that sentence contains so many red flags, it could be used to direct traffic. At one Mar-a-Lago party, according to the New York Times, the guest list was Trump, Epstein, and 28 young women. Trump famously called Epstein a terrific guy in 2002, telling New York Magazine, "He's a lot of fun to be with. It is even said that he likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side." Trump's friendship with Epstein apparently ended around 2004 when they had a falling out over a Palm Beach mansion called Maison de l'Amitié, which is French for House of Friendship. Trump outbid Epstein, paid $41 million, then flipped it for $95 million to a Russian billionaire. So their friendship ended over real estate, which is probably the most Trump way possible to end a friendship. Trump now claims he wasn't a fan of Epstein and kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago for being a creep, which raises the obvious question, how long does it take to figure out someone's a creep when you're partying with them and 28 young women at your private club? The most telling part of this whole story might be Trump's confusion about why anyone cares. I don't understand why the Jeffrey Epstein case would be of interest to anybody, he told reporters. Really? You don't understand why people might be interested in a billionaire sex trafficker who had connections to powerful politicians and died under mysterious circumstances in federal custody? As author Mike Rothschild put it, the story isn't Epstein anymore. The story is Donald Trump talking about Epstein.
What if everything you've been taught about happiness is wrong? We chase careers, approval, more stuff, hoping it'll finally make us feel fulfilled, but it never sticks. What if happiness isn't out there, but already inside you, just waiting to be unlocked? Discover the book, The Happiness Experiment. Every person has a unique happiness type, and when you understand yours, everything shifts. You'll stop chasing and start creating joy on your own terms. Discover your happiness type with a free happiness type assessment. Go to myhappinnesstype.com. That's myhappiness.com. It takes just a minute and it might change your life. Then grab your copy of The Happiness Experiment at Books A Million. This isn't just a book, it's a practical framework, a journey inward. It's a tool to help you reconnect with the happiness that's been waiting inside you all along. Pick up The Happiness Experiment and start your happiness experiment today.
Remember that free Air Force One Trump got from Qatar? And when I say free, I mean free the way a rescue dog is free. Sure, there's no adoption fee, but you're about to spend a fortune on vet bills, toys, and explaining to your neighbors why your new pet keeps barking at 3 in the morning. Now, the official cost of this Air Force One makeover, classified, which is government speak for so expensive we had to hide it from ourselves. Even by Washington standards, where they use black budgets to hide the cost of everything from spy satellites to really nice office Christmas parties, this level of secrecy is impressive. But congressional budget detectives, and yes, that's apparently a real job, have discovered something fascinating. There's been a $934 million transfer from the Pentagon. $934 million. That money was quietly moved from America's nuclear missile modernization program to what's described as an unnamed classified project. The nuclear missile program, by the way, is called Sentinel, which sounds like a superhero, but performs more like that friend who promises to help you move and then shows up 3 hours late with a Honda Civic. The plane will be renovated at a Texas facility known for secret technology projects. Secret technology projects! That's either incredibly sophisticated or they're just really good at hiding the fact that they're using duct tape. This plane renovation will take a year or two to complete. Then, after Trump leaves office in 2029, the golden aircraft, and yes, there will be gold trim because of course there will be, gets transferred to Trump's future presidential library. So let me understand this correctly. We're spending nearly $1 billion of nuclear security money to renovate a plane, and then it becomes a museum exhibit? But here's my favorite part of this whole story. The Air Force says they can't discuss the cost of renovating the president's plane because it's classified. But they're perfectly happy to discuss the cost of building intercontinental ballistic missiles. Portions of today's show were made with the help of AI and the Epstein files.
From the creators of Palace Intrigue, a new chapter in royal history begins. William and Kate's wedding captures the world's attention, but royal life isn't as perfect as it seems. Tensions rise as Harry meets Meghan, sparking a divide that will shake the monarchy to its core. From explosive interviews to family scandals, the royal family faces its most public challenges ever. As King Charles takes the throne, the future of the monarchy hangs in the balance. Family secrets, royal rifts, and the future of the crown. Crown and Controversy, wherever you get your podcasts.
From Calaroga Shark Media comes Celebrity Trials, the explosive new podcast that exposes the truth behind America's most captivating cases. I'm Reed Carter, and I'll take you inside real-live daily trials and classic celebrity cases where fame, power, and justice collide. From Jeffrey Epstein's billion-dollar sex trafficking empire to the prep school killer who walked free, from family annihilators to celebrity plea deals. Discover the shocking verdicts, twisted evidence, and cultural forces that shape American justice. These aren't just crimes, they're cultural moments that reveal who we really are. Justice isn't always swift, but it's absolutely riveting. Celebrity Trials, available wherever you get your podcasts.
Welcome to Alligator Alcatraz, a new podcast from Calaroga Shark Media. They built a detention center in the Florida Everglades to separate families and break spirits. Surrounded it with alligators, figured that'd be the end of it. What they didn't count on was Tommy Esperanza, a quiet maintenance worker who turned their bureaucratic nightmare into something extraordinary. While corrupt politicians profited from human suffering and incompetent officials created disasters with PowerPoint presentations, Tommy built an underground network that reunited families, exposed massive fraud, and brought down a congressman. Where the Gators were smarter than the guards, families fought back against systematic cruelty, and one man proved that wisdom beats authority every single time. Alligator Alcatraz, available wherever you get your podcasts.